Alright, so the biggest thing that I hear with the Sacramento Kings right now is Davion Mitchell and the whole drafting Davion Mitchell in the top 10 when you have two guards already and two high caliber guards right now. Obviously you have De'Aaron Fox, who just signed an insane extension with the Sacramento Kings and has solidified himself as of right now as their point guard. And then you have Tyrese Halliburton, who had an amazing rookie season. Definitely fell on a lot of draft boards. Should have gone higher in the draft than he did. He's 6'5", but I would consider him a point guard. I think everyone does consider him a point guard. He also isn't necessarily big from a muscular standpoint or a body standpoint. He's only around 185, 190 pounds at 6'5". That's kind of on the smaller end. So those two are their point guards, and obviously Davion Mitchell is a point guard. He's around 6'1". He's on the bigger side, and obviously when you watch him at Baylor, you can see that he's someone, I'd say, that looks bigger than he is. And I think him being so strong on the defensive side of the ball helps him a lot. But there are two things that I see moving forward that could be possibility as to why they made the draft pick that they did. When you have other players like Book Knight, for example, who in a lot of eyes fell, the two main things that I see is either De'Aaron Fox is out and he's going to get traded by the deadline or next year's offseason. And the reason why I have that particular idea or hypothesis, if you will, is because De'Aaron, though he's an amazing player, for sure, he, as of right now, hasn't been the most efficient player from a three-point aspect, where he's shooting around 30%, 32% his career. And then from a free throw percentage, it's also not the greatest at 70%. Now he's a decent playmaker, not the best in the league, but definitely not the worst by any means. He jumps up pretty much every year. He took a step back 2 seasons ago, but last season brought that back up to around 7 assists a game, which is solid. Turnover ratio, it's a little high. 3, it could be worse. And Tyrese Halliburton, like I said, already had an amazing season last year. So maybe they see Davion Mitchell as some sort of replacement, and then they'll want to do a 2-guard lineup with Tyrese and Davion rather than De'Aaron and Tyrese, or De'Aaron and Davion, however you want to look at it. So I think that may be one of the possibilities, because Davion has proven that he can play with other guards, as he with Baylor played with Butler and he played with Teague. So him playing with guards definitely won't be the problem. It's just that particular system doesn't really work in the NBA, just because defensively it will be easier to get by, and also Davion's really the only defensive-minded player of those 3 right now. So I don't hate the pick by any means like other people do. I think Davion's a great player. He is also 22 right now, so he's on the older end, meaning that more likely than not his ceiling isn't as high as other players that were drafted behind him. But that's beyond the point. The other thing that I do see as a possibility is that they do the whole 3-guard lineup and they test it out in whatever way, whether that be in the starting lineup, which I doubt, or throughout the game they try it out, maybe the second quarter, third quarter, whatever it may be, because it may work. Honestly, it may work. Obviously, it's an NBA, it's a different game, it's different than college. Everyone's bigger, faster, stronger. But when you have 3 point guards, the ball handling will be solid, the passing will be solid, facilitating will be solid, everything like that will be solid. Defensively, you have someone who's basically a defensive specialist in Davion Mitchell. And you have 2 other guards who aren't terrible defensively. So trying that out wouldn't be the worst option, and seeing how that goes. Maybe that's what they see, and they see that it worked so well at Baylor with Davion Mitchell. Maybe that it can work again with having Tyrese and De'Aaron. Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. We'll see how that goes, but I do think that Davion Mitchell being selected by Sacramento Kings could possibly be better than people are making it seem as of right now.